Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes Iron Man mode on the Rebirth server. We are with a mutation controller, level 1 character I have named Final Flame. I tried to call him Blaze of Glory because we're going to go out in a Blaze of Glory. This is our final Iron Man character. We've now done either regular or Iron Man, one of every archetype. We did regular play with a Scrapper with Silver Phoenix. We did regular play with a Stalker with Tiger Shrike. We did regular play with a Mastermind with Nightmare Lass. We did regular play with a Brute with Quintessence Lass. And all the other archetypes, the Dominator, the Guardian, the Controller now, the Defender, the Blaster, we have done as our Iron Man mode. We haven't done the Chaldeans and the other prestige classes. I'm not going to do those in Iron Man mode. I feel like I've done enough Iron Man. I want to do a controller. We'll see how far we get. Our last several characters only got to level 9 or 10. One got to 12. That was our Corruptor. We did a Corruptor too. I forgot about that. And our Guardian, again with the asterisk, got a level to level 19, but got to level 19 because I forgot to set things on boss. This guy's going to have trouble with bosses because it's hard to hold bosses. We'll see how we do. He's Fire Kinetics. I made that choice because Fire Kin was always seen as like Uber. So let's see how we do with our like, what do you want to call it? The Uber set. The one that everybody would take when they were trying to like level up and stuff. So we're doing the Galaxy City tutorial. It's a little quicker, so I figure we'll just go ahead and do that.
These monsters are all over the place.
So we have two initial powers. Right, one is we can drain,
or press tab. To attack, left click your power in
and
the
then
power tray.
here we can hold. We have very little way to do damage, except our Nemesis staff.
We need to push forward. I'm getting an SOS from Blue Spectrum. He's in trouble.
So we need to look for Blue Spectrum, and we are going to be good here. We are a hero.
Blue Spectrum is hurt.
So we help him and save his life.
Spectrum seems okay now.
And that levels us up.
Longbow needs your help up ahead.
So let's take a look, before we move forward, let's take a look at these powers, what we've got. Char is a hold. Char does a little bit of damage over time, 5 ticks of 2. It also has is a 3 magnitude hold, which is pretty good for 15 seconds. It recharges in 8, which means we can stack it right out of the gate. And there's a 20% chance that there's a slightly higher magnitude on it. The controller's special ability is critical damage containment, right? So when you have a target that's already held or immobilized, if you do damage, it does more damage. Finally, then, when there is kinetics, I've never actually used this power set. Transfusion drains an enemy of some endurance and reduces their regeneration rate and transfers that energy in the form of hit points to all allies near the affected foe. You can use the transfusion to heal yourself as well as your allies. So we should be able to heal ourselves a little bit with that power.
Left click
and now we
on
level up.
NPC to begin interacting with
Train
it.
up to the next level.
Select
So Fire
change
Cages
next level
is
to
an
choose a
area
new
effect
power.
immobilize. Siphon Power reduces their damage potential. Ring of Fire is a single target immobilize. I think I'm going to go with the AoE immobilize. I like the idea of AoE immobilizing whoever we miss as we back up, runs at us, and we put a hold on him. We'll see if that works, but we'll try it.
Those monsters are blocking the teleportation.
Alright, so now we have to defeat the Sheevens.
So you can get out of here.
You are now in a zone event.
Alright, let's try an AoE. I mean, we might get killed, but let's see what happens. AoE. Ring of Fire. 2 of them. That's not a very big area. And now we'll hold this guy. Those guys are now stuck. They can't come and attack me. And he's choking. So that's pretty good. And this thing regenerates very quickly, so we have the ability to hold, and now we're overpowering and did a lot of damage with that fire ring. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, fire's a good attack because a lot of enemies don't have resistance to fire. We saw this with our minions, with our Mastermind, doing ice and fire attacks. Let's drain this guy and heal ourselves and see how it looks. There we go. We just healed up. That's cool. I like it. I think this is actually a nice combo. I can see why people liked it back in the day. So we still have to defeat a bunch more Shivans, so let's start attacking them again. So one thing you can do is you can throw the immobilize on, of course you missed, but you can throw the immobilize on the enemy, and that immobilize, after he's been held, will do the overpower and will do more damage. Oh, are you guys attacking me? Well, let's heal up. I do like that we can heal right away out of the gate. Man, I'm getting completely mobbed here. But we've immobilized them, you see. Quite nice. Looks like this character is going to be using a lot of endurance. These powers recharge really quickly, which is nice, but hitting recharge, you know, quick to recharge powers over and over again can really drain your endurance. And the big problem with controllers is that, and I'm going to actually come back here and, can we rest? Do we have rest available? We do. I don't know if we can rest though, because he's going to kind of attack me. Alright, so now we have to like defeat this thing, and I don't think you can do anything to it. I think what happens is you just have to stand there and wait for the for these things to come through, and when they come through, Vanguard jets have a lock, right? And then they come through, and I guess they do enough damage to knock it down to 4 out of 5. I don't know. I don't have the ability to do a lot of damage to this thing. So this is going to be a while, I guess, guys. I don't know if we can actually weaken it. We can't hold it. So now he's doing meteors. We have to stay out of the way. We are out of the way. I think this is a pretty safe spot here. Why can I not shoot him? There we go. You can see how badly designed this tutorial is. Because, like, you actually can't do anything to the Shivan, and you're just sitting here waiting for the Air Force to knock him down. Right? And, like, how many hit points does it have? 1,117, and we're doing, like, 1. Right? Our damage is like 10 per shot. If we had to actually do 1,000 damage to it, it would be impossible. And again, this is a tutorial that was made assuming there would be a large audience of players, and like it just freaking never seems to have occurred to them, well, what happens if somebody's all by themselves at 2 o'clock in the morning playing on your server, and it's just so long and boring, and there's no chance you're going to die or anything? Like, I guess if you stood on the meteors, you could die, but it's so easy not to stand on the meteors. You know, again, if there's a large group, you might have a hard time not standing on the meteors. But it seems like all that you have to do is just wait until the planes come through and defeat it. And so you're just sitting here watching the NPCs beat this thing. Terrible tutorial. I like the other one much better. I think it's about to be defeated. I think this will defeat it. I hope so. Shoot it. It's pushed back into the pit. So you can see each one of those runs damaged it 1/5 of the time. So you basically just have to live until enough airplane strikes get through. Hello, back alley brawler. Yes, we'll go to Atlas Park. So that's the end of that tutorial, and the last tutorial we're going to be playing in this Iron Man run And now we are level 2, and we're in Atlas Park, and we're going to go talk to Matthew Habeshi and do his missions. And again, it seems like it didn't occur to these developers that even though the old way was old, at least the old way, every archetype got a different contact to start out with. This way, every single character gets Habeshi to start out with. By the way, let's get rid of all these silly things we don't need. Yes, hide the prompt. Go away. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Our final Iron Man character is a controller. I'm having some issues with this mouse. Alright, Matt. We're not going to go ahead and read on any of these because we've done this so many times now, guys. So we're going to go defeat 5 Hellions. So let's see. How do I want to orchestrate this bar? That's an AoE. These are single target attacks. So let's keep the AoE separated for now, just so I keep track of which thing is which. Well, the Hellions are going to be resistant to this, right? Because they resist fire. But we should be alright. Nice! Now he's taking damage. So this is a character we might want to consider some sort of a... some sort of an attack pool for. I'm not sure. Like, I mean, there's the fighting pool. I don't think we want that. We're not going to be doing melee attacks. I'm not sure if there's a decent ranged pool. You can definitely see why people like fire kinetics. Those guys were totally helpless against me. Okay, let's go talk to Matt. Mr. Habeshi. It's a very strange name. Hey, are you graffitiing? I think we're going to have to stop that. And I think you're going to be held. And overpowered. And hit with a nemesis staff. And hit with a mutagen. And held again. And overpowered again. And hit with another mutagen. There you go. Alright, let's go talk to Matthew. We've got some nice inspirations now, which is good. Let's do it that way. And he says, let's go speak with Officer Nelson. So, our goal with this character is to at least get to level 10. Right? Our last couple characters got only to 9 or 10. Let's see if we can get this controller at least to level 10. And then once we get there, then we'll shoot for 12. And if we can beat 13, get to 13, we'll beat everybody but the Guardian, which I think would be pretty good if we could do that. And then we'll shoot for 19. But one step at a time, let's see if we can get to level 9 first. Alright, so now he wants me to go rescue civilians. One really nice thing about controllers is, especially when you get this hold in right away, is you can hold the lieutenant in a spawn that's got like lieutenants and minions. You can hold the lieutenant, and if you can stack that hold on the lieutenant, that is super helpful. Ring of fire, and now there we go. So he should be held and choked now, and we should have him basically perma-held. Which is not bad for a level 2 character. Right, that you can perma-hold a lieutenant. That's pretty awesome. We don't do a lot of damage, but we're very good at holding them. Whoops, hit the wrong thing. There we go. Let's hold a ring of fire. Not bad. So I'm holding off a little bit on the Nemesis staff, mostly because the Nemesis staff is going to do knockback and I don't want to chase him. I guess this guy's okay, but the other guy, I was afraid he was going to end up going back and I was going to end up facing somebody else, you know, like aggroing another guy. And you're held now. I guess the hold prevents him from getting knocked back, which actually is useful. As you can see, well, the nice thing about fire, and I think this is why people liked it, is that its holds do damage. A lot of the primaries in controllers didn't used to do damage. I think some more of them do now because controllers got really frustrated that they couldn't solo anything. Because if you're not doing any damage with your holds, like imagine the hold, the fire does a little damage, but the hold doesn't, right? We don't have Nemesis, Staff, and Trank Darts when the game begins, right? So all you're doing is this Ring of Fire. The kinetics doesn't do any damage, right? All it's doing is, we got some other guys, it looks like, doing the tutorial. All the kinetics is doing is charging you up, right? It was really tough. So we may start seeing, like in this Helium Base here, if that character is also doing the tutorial, we may see somebody else in here with us for the first time ever, because I've never seen anybody in here with me. And let's get you guys started. And let's see if we can knock him back. Just get away from me. Nope. I guess once they're held with the immobilized, they're not going anywhere. And that was a mistake. But they're both dead, so that's alright. So the mistake was I'm so used to this being my default attack, and instead it's a hold. I'm going to have to rethink everything in terms of how I like arrange my hotbar and stuff with this character. I think we're going to want that single target immobilized fairly quickly to just do some more damage. The respawn rate on this is so insane. Look at this. I just aggroed the guys behind me. That's just nuts. It's almost like you can't stop. You have to run through the whole thing super fast. Because if you don't, they'll just respawn on you. I mean, it shouldn't respawn so fast that you haven't even finished with one spawn and the previous one respawns. That's just ridiculous. Alright, well, they're immobilized. Look at... Alright, screw that. I'm just going to run through. I mean, this is just ridiculous. All you got to do is click this, and then you can run out. So I'm just going to do that. And it's just nuts to have that many guys constantly respawning like that. And with a controller, you have no defense. And it takes so long to kill them that they're just going to keep respawning. Like that's just ridiculous. All right, let's call him. Found an artifact. Okay. So what's next? Go Incognito. So we got to get information from the Hellions, and then we'll go Incognito. And we didn't level up in there because I wasn't able to kill the guys in there because they kept respawning. But we'll level up over here. The first guy we question will level us up. And that's fine. I think this guy's going to fly. Seems to me like flame flight, although you can't really make it look like that, which is sort of frustrating. There's an informant, and that's the guy we need. Put him under hold. And we'll start pounding on the other guy. And we've leveled up, guys. Not bad. So we're now third level. Jump in the gun there. And we now know where we need to go. In here, where we'll pretend to be a Hellion. And then we'll head out and level up. You notice, interestingly enough, my first several characters, all my main characters were female. All my Iron Man characters have been male. Don't ask me why. It's just that when I was making up the character, that's what came to me. You know, my D&D group we're taking a break from my game for a variety of reasons, and my best friend is actually, surprisingly enough, going to be GMing some Candlekeep Mysteries for us, starting at level 2, and so I made up a character. I made up a female blade-singing elf, and the one woman who's not played D&D before until now, and she's used to playing a female gnome ranger, made up a male elven fighter. And she said the same thing that I've been saying, which is, I don't know why he's male. It just, as I was playing around with, class and subclass and statistics, he just became a he. It was a male, like an older male, sort of this gritty old elven male who kind of lives out in the wilderness and is kind of antisocial and doesn't hang around the other elves very much. That's just what came to her. And so I think it's going to be really interesting. Her character and mine know each other because they're both elves and they both come from Everesca. So I think it's going to be really interesting. But what she said was basically what I've said. When you're making up a character, something just comes to you. And I can't always tell you why it's a male or why it's a female. Like my stalker that I'm playing as my main is female. Now that's because she was female when she came to me back in live, because I recreated Twilight Raven, and she's now level 32, which I think is substantially higher. I think Twilight Raven never got above 30 in live, so she's now higher than she was originally. Anyway, let's train up. We definitely want. Oh man, all these are good. I want Char maxed. That's going to be 6 slotted right away. I don't know how much it matters, but at least if it's 6 slotted, even trainers can be potentially useful. Now we are going to face a boss here. So I think we're going to talk to Matthew. I don't even know how much influence we have, but let's talk to Matthew, go to his store. We have a little. Let's pull out a break free. Let's do it this way. A sturdy, a break free, double lux. You guys know how I love luck, and a damage. And we're kitted out, and that was almost all the influence we had, guys, but that's okay. We'll get more as time goes on. So now we're going to head over and stop the Ritual of Souls. I think this guy, in addition to flight and stuff, will benefit from stealth. I just don't know if we're going to be able to grab that for him before he dies. Just trying to keep him alive. And we're aggroing things because we're low level. And so greens will aggro to you if you get too close, which I did there. Once they're gray, the first level of gray will aggro to you, and deeper gray will not. So blue is -1, green is -2. First level of gray is -3. -4 and below will generally not aggro to you, unless you walk right up to them. Obviously, if you hit them, they will aggro. A lot of times, if they're far enough below you, they'll run away. So yeah, my D&D group is actually going to start our Candlekeep Mysteries Saturday. Today's Thursday, so I'm pretty much looking forward to getting started. I am a little bummed that I might have to miss the second session. I'm supposed to visit my sister. I was supposed to go visit her earlier in the month, and that didn't pan out. And I've got a really early airline flight the day after our second session is scheduled, and I just don't think I'm going to be able to. Originally, I said I would have to stop early, but and I'd have to get up at 5 in the morning. I really don't think I should be playing D&D even till 10:30 or something at night, because I'm going to have so much that I need to do to get ready. I haven't been on an airplane in a couple of years, not owing just to the pandemic, but just because I hate airline travel and I normally like to drive. Just that I don't have enough time this trip to drive. Realistically, I mean, it takes 2 days to get to my sister's and 2 days to get back. And I only have 6 days, so that means I'd only be there for I would drive up on, say, Sunday and Monday, stay there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, drive back on Friday and Saturday. That's a lot of driving. It'd be more. I would be spending more time driving than being with them, which is not worth it. I've got to remember to turn the sprint off because we're already just hemorrhaging endurance. Some of that's just the number of attacks you have to make in order to defeat enemies with a controller. So we're probably going to want to do, we're going to want to slot this fire cage and do damage on it. It lasts a long time, it recharges fairly quickly. We didn't set this guy on boss. Alright, well, we'll do it as soon as we come out. Um, I think it recharges fast enough and it lasts long enough that you can kind of stack it or almost stack it. And given that that's the case, I think you want to put accuracy on it and damage. At least for the first 4 slots. Alright, we don't need to listen to all this. We know his wife is still alive. So you may be curious, what do I do when I'm alone? Do I listen to it? Yeah, I stay and listen to it. I do. Maybe it's silly, but I do. Alright, let's call Matthew. Your wife's still alive. Be introduced to a new contact. This is going to be random, 1 to 3 as the first one. 4 to 6 is the second one. Roll dice. See what we get. 1, so Officer Fields again. I think we've done him every single time since it's been random. Okay, so we don't need to level up, so we can go right to Officer Fields. How are we doing on time? 26 minutes. So I actually think we're going to stop here, guys. We've got our controller set up. We're level 3, close to level 4. We'll get to level 4 next time. I'm going to stop over here by the train station just for safety. I hope you've enjoyed. I've definitely enjoyed playing this character. I've enjoyed every character I've played. Like, honestly, there's not a power set I've hated. There's not an archetype that I haven't at least found something to enjoy about in these Iron Mans. Same thing with all of my permanent characters, whether it's Demon Summoning or Dark Brute or Claws. I'm enjoying my Ninjutsu Ninja Blade Stalker. I mean, like, I really feel like there's not a bad power set in City of Heroes. I enjoy them all. Some of the ones that are the more underwhelming in terms of like the damage or the ability are the coolest effects. And I'm like, well, the effects are so cool, I don't care, you know. And then some of the ones that don't have the best effects are like, you know, special effects, visual effects, have really cool in-game mechanical effects. And then a lot of them are just cool both. And so I'm enjoying all of it. And I've been having a lot of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying too. I hope you enjoy this final character, our final flame in Iron Man. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server.